So Monster Hunter Wilds just got an update overnight, and I wanted to go over some of the changes that just happened. Most of them were smaller fixes for various bugs, but there were a couple of bigger things that people might want to know about. So while I won't go over every single change, because most of these are kind of small, I will show the entire patch notes on the screen anyway, so you can still read things in case I don't talk about it. So the first big one being that the monster field guide cannot be accessed. I don't know when this would happen, but that is really annoying if it does, because the monster field guide is how you can check for things like what a monster is weak to or what kind of drop rates it has for the various parts that it can give you. This next one is pretty big. When guarding a monster's attack with the lance using Power Guard under certain conditions, the weapon flashes in red, but the effect is not activated. So yeah, basically Power Guard would work, or Power Guard would look like it's working when it isn't. I can imagine that a lot of people ran into trouble with that, thinking that they just got hit or that they couldn't guard an attack somehow anyway. So that's a good fix to have in the game. When using a mantle, weapon and equipment skill may be mistakenly activated. Some effects may be displayed continuously when using certain skills, such as peak performance and self-improvement. I've found this to be kind of annoying sometimes because you'd just be glowing randomly in town. So that's a good fix. This one was a huge bug when basically what happened is if you use the offset attack with the insect glaive, sometimes your character would just be stuck and frozen. You couldn't move and you'd be locked. Like you'd be completely screwed at that point. So this is a great fix to have. I know a lot of insect glaive players were saying to just not use the move to counter certain hits, so that's good. This one's been really annoying for a lot of people. The meal invitation feature at Azu's and Sild does not work on some occasions. That also gets stacked with this other one, which is that a notification that you may have received the meal invitation when it is not available would happen. It sounds like they've partially fixed that, but basically meals weren't working when we did get the invitation, but we also were getting invitations that we should have never gotten in the first place. I guess that means overall less meals that we'll have, but the meals that we do get will work. I know a lot of people have run into that issue, so that's pretty huge. Loadouts causing decorations to be removed from equipment, bowgun customization being reverted to default, and kinsects reverting to the initial rarity. This will be really annoying if it happened to you, and it's when you use equipment loadout, so I'm glad that that is fixed as well. That'd be a really big pain because you wouldn't realize that this stuff happened, and all of a sudden you're missing half your skills or your bowgun's acting differently. This one was a funny one. When cutting out monster parts, the parts changed to a monster part from an entirely different monster. Some skills are unintentionally activated under certain conditions. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I know that a lot of skills are bugged. Or not a lot, but I would say I know that people are finding bugs in certain skills, like the flare skill not really doing much past level 2. I know there's a lot of work to be done there, and I'm glad that they are paying attention to it. This is probably the biggest thing in the patch. Some items / rewards can be obtained repeatedly under certain conditions. This is likely referring to the Night Pollen farm. If you don't know, Night Pollen is a rare gathering item that you can get, and it's really hard to get. I won't spoil the conditions in case you enjoy that kind of thing, but there are plenty of guides out there that probably don't work now because of this change. You would find the rare item, which you could get basically 1 per minute with the farm, and you could trade that with the village traders. One village trader would sometimes offer you a golden melding ticket for the Night Pollen. It was a 1-to-1 ratio. 1 golden melding ticket will give you enough melding points to craft 10 weapon decorations, and I mean max level weapon decorations, or 20 max level armor decorations. They could also sometimes give you the golden relic ticket, which would give you 15 max level Ardian parts. There was massive value, and when you think about someone farming 1 per minute, having like, I don't know, 50 to 60 of these, or even like 100, this was setting people up for the end game. Like, you'd be set up, your decoration grind will be over if you did this for a couple of hours. This is obviously not an intended thing to be in the game, and it really invalidates the end game loop by doing this. Yeah, I think it's good because sometimes people will do things like this. They'll do big grinds, and then it's like, oh, I have nothing to do in the game because I already have everything. It's like, well, yeah, you used an exploit, so of course you have nothing to do. Hopefully the people that have done this are not bored with the game. And if you are, then you kind of, that's your own fault. And likewise, this one is big because it was a part of that same farm, sort of. Like, not directly a part of it, but people use this too. When trying to catch a fish with the capture net, the fishes nearby do not swim away, so they're fixing that so that the fishes do swim away. And that's how Monster Hunter World behaved. You can't just spam the net anymore. And the reason why this was big is because people were going to a cave in the Scarlet Forest, and you'd be able to get a couple hundred points in a few seconds because you just toss the net into the cave. There'd be a lot of rare fish in there, or not rare fish, but really valuable fish, and they'd be there consistently, and all it took was warping away and then warping back, and all the fish would be reset. So this is another big part of that grind because you would have to spend a lot of guild points to reset the day, to reset the trades, and you would also be spending guild points to do the Night Pollen farm anyway. They've hit that farm from 2 different fronts, and they don't want you to spam gathering points. Yeah, that farm is likely completely gone. What else do we have? What else? I think that's about it. Like I said, there are some things that still need to be looked into, like Flare not working correctly. They have a section at the top of the patch notes that talks about the things that they're aware of that they haven't fixed yet. Like SOS flares causing network errors if you use it too quickly after a quest begins, link members not showing up properly when you're in a hub or a base camp, Palico weapons not properly inflicting stun and exhaust damage, which means that Palicos are going to get stronger when they fix that. There was a bug about hunter profiles not being edited not being able to be edited properly, and then some stuff with side missions not being able to be completed. But yeah, just a quick update from Capcom, a really small one. A very beloved farm is now gone. So you have to play the game normally. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, I'll be making a lot more Monster Hunter Wilds videos. So subscribe, join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next video.